Hey, sweet soul, welcome back to Conscious Lifestyle Coaching. My name is Raileigh Easterling. Today's message is the universe is responding to your frequency. This is a common message many spiritual teachers will remind us is the universe is working with us and for us and never really against us. As a life coach, sometimes I'm hesitant and I can understand why people are so resistant to the idea that we are consciously co-creating our reality, especially if we have been victims of just chaos and violence and abuse. So, we didn't ask for those things to happen to us, and yet they did. And I always remind myself and other people in those circumstances, those were, soul contracts, meaning we came here to Earth to have specific karmic experiences so that we can heal from it, become more enlightened by it as a soul. And ultimately, we'll use that story, that trauma, in order to help raise the vibration of human consciousness on the earth. And that's why each and every one of us is so important, and why each of us has a sacred divine purpose. So it's not that we come here just to, choose to suffer, but we're choosing to have the human experience at a spiritual level. And that's a much more empowered place to live in, right? Eventually, as you become more soul awakened and you remember this and you know this as truth, then you don't have to have such traumatic experiences. Those initial initiations were meant to kind of shake you up and awaken you to help you remember where you came from and who you really are. Once you've been awakened again to your soul consciousness, you don't have to revisit such intense karmic lessons because you're learning to heal, you're learning to trust, you're learning to be in love and in peace no matter what is happening around you. You're trusting the divine unfoldment and you're trusting your place has a purpose in everything that's unfolding. So I'm likely speaking to someone who's there, right? You're awakened enough, at least, to your divinity. And so you're able to observe a little bit more why things are happening in your life and at least practice a little bit more forgiveness and understanding. And so, even though it's hard sometimes, ultimately you do trust God. And so, what I'm receiving in the spirit now is to observe more and take a step back. We need to go into meditation more, no matter where you are in the world. There's beauty and peace happening, and when we tune into that vibration, that is what our soul is going to resonate with and want to create more of, and it's going to want to receive more of that as well. So that's why I put the last video up about tuning into gratitude, because I know as I face um, labor with first baby, I need to be in a place of no fear so I can trust my body and trust all the sensations that are going to be happening with it. So it's kind of your protection mechanism with whatever humanity is going to be moving through next. Are you going to be able to stay in the higher vibration? Now, this is not toxic positivity. I'm not saying we can't feel grief or unhappiness or rage even, but it's how are we going to transmute and alchemize that energy into an activation, into a human embodiment, into a service to other people, so that we're not just waking up every day and complaining about the universe and the world and hating the idea of being here, but seeing each day as a sacred opportunity to truly make an impact on the world. And that we actually have the wisdom and knowing that we have the capacity to make a huge impact and change on the world. That we're not just here not to be heard or can't make any type of ripple in the universe. Each and every one of us is so important to what is cosmically happening right here and right now. If we stay in the rage, so I'm not saying we can't feel it, if we stay in the rage, and the discontentment and the confusion. If we stay there, then we are blocked from the clarity of our true and highest vision. That's when we're not moving anywhere in our life and we get sucked into disempowerment. And then the veil of separation becomes stronger. So we start distancing ourselves further and further away, and we start regressing away from the awareness of our divinity and our relationship with the divine. And that's not something we want. But it happens. Sometimes that's what a soul needs to do. It needs to go back to sleep, and it's understandable. Being human is difficult. It is so hard. And it's almost, it's an incubation period. It's a deep slumber. And that's why we see people fall into the vibration of addiction and drugs and timelines that they shouldn't be on, but at a soul level they're choosing it. Eventually they will awaken if that's what they want. It's scary to think that some souls choose to completely kind of just disintegrate in a way, never really return home. They just continue to fracture and become more disembodied. And that's when we see true evil take place. And even that has a cosmic order and reason in the universe that God, the divine love, is using that energy. So at the end of the day, it's all about oneness and unity consciousness. As we ascend in the higher vibration of love, the more we become witness to the most dense and dark dimensions as well. Life becomes more expansive. And that's also terrifying. And again, why human beings choose to numb and not want to see the full spectrum of multidimensional reality. It's easy to just stay in one thin dimension and, not really push the boundaries of what's possible in this world, in this life, because it's scary. And it's difficult to take accountability that everything, again, that's unfolding around us, we are creating it. We are responsible for it. So the key message today is the universe is responding to your vibration. So if you feel out of control, if you feel in fear or just, I don't know, just judgmental, hopeless, not really hopeful about what's going to happen in the world, that's when you have to take a step back and tune in to your heart and to your soul. Many spiritual people call it the hermit phase, or sometimes it's just going on sabbatical, taking a meditation, going within. And the Matrix, the people who siphon energy, spiritual energy, they don't want you to know this. They don't want you to do this. They want you to be lifeless, to be a robot, not think for yourself. It wants to harvest your soul and energy. So when you pull away, when you take your energy back, and you're trusting everything's going to be okay if I take a break, if I'm not selling myself to disease and misfortune, if I take a break and just tune into my body and into prayer for a couple hours, a couple days, sometimes weeks, sometimes years for some of us, everything's going to be okay. We're going to be uplifted. We're going to be transformed. We're going to be carried into the most optimum, beautiful timeline where we are of the highest service. So we are always empowered, sovereign beings. It's just remembering and shedding the fear. And that's what we're going to keep talking about. Again, as I, in the physical here, move through labor transition. So I'm going to continue to be drawing my energy within myself. And it's very uncomfortable as a woman who's been very, ambitious in life. But I need to keep and harness and protect my own energy so I can release it when it needs to happen for the ultimate blessing and miracle that's on the way. So even if you're not pregnant and you're journeying with me, and there's something that you are birthing in your life, whether that is a new creative vision, a project, a business, starting a family for yourself, whatever it is, you are birthing something. You've been in this co-creation portal, and now it's sincerely on the way, and it's going to ask you to face some fears here, some challenges, some pain even. And yet, at the end of the day, through all of it, you are in control. And it's just a matter of decision, a decision to work with the flow and the power of the universe. That you are actually here to generate, generate the reality that you know God has for you from your innermost soul. So if you have to get offline, if you have to end some relationships right now, if you have to walk away from some jobs, I'm always going to be encouraging that soul freedom that you need so that you can be a part of this healing journey and the raising of consciousness and remembering who you really are. That's always what this channel, this voice is going to be for you. And if you need more support through this journey of transformation in your life, the one-on-ones with me are available, and they're very powerful because then you're held accountable and you cannot unsee the truth that your soul is resonating through a call with me. So I'm going to be reflecting back to you your deepest soul desires. Again, that cannot be unseen. You're going to have to sit with it. You can't ignore it. I handwrite to you from the Akashic Records what it is your soul is meant to journey through. It's not coming from Raileigh Easterling. It's coming from, again, your soul, your spiritual guidance, and through deep prayer and meditation together. And just comes so much peace with that, knowing you're not alone, that you're very much seen by God, by the spiritual world, and that there are people here ready to guide you and to support you and to work with you. So if I am that support, please reach out by email anytime. You can book the one-on-ones with me, and I just look forward to the many new souls I'll be meeting as I embark on my own personal transformation journey. So just thank you if you've been journeying with me up until this point. Thank you for the likes, comments, shares, the subscriptions to the channel. Again, I share so much love and appreciation for all of you, and I hope to hear from you all more. Share your story. As you know, I'm a poet, I'm an oracle, I'm a writer. So I'd love to hear from you. Even if I can't respond to you directly through the emails or the comments, just know I'm reading them and I'm speaking to you. If it feels that I'm speaking to you, I am. So sending you again peace and love. I'll see you in the next video.